So hello everyone, welcome to our channel BISP Solution. Now from today, WMS Cloud, nothing but a warehouse management system in our Oracle Fusion, right? Agenda. So we are going to start our today's session with the overview of WMS Cloud and then user creation, and what is the support user and how we'll create the support user in our WMS. And next one is configure the menu for the user. So this is our today's agenda, right? So a warehouse management system is a software solution that's offer a visibility into a business entire inventory and manage the supply chain fulfillment operations from distribution center to the store self. Warehouse management systems solution additionally enable the companies to maximize their labor and the space. WMS helps optimize all our warehouse processes, right? So it's extremely important not only because of all the material in our warehouse, but also the merchandise entries and the warehouse. So sorry for the interruption. So basically, a warehouse is to use to track all their materials in your warehouse and streamline how workers pick the materials, pick the product, and pack the product, and provide what ability to track the merchandise entire warehouse, right? So simple. This is a warehouse, and this is the uh, simple term of warehouse we use in our Oracle, right? So let's see some architecture for this. So we have the primary site and we have the disaster recovery site, right? So in our system architecture, we have got our user doing all their transaction, right? All their transaction. So you may have somebody on the RF device or on the UI, right? So RF device is nothing but our radio frequency device, right? So as far as particular user is concerned, their transaction go through the cloud, uh, through the internet. So the Oracle Cloud Services go to the route is going to go, and at the last it goes into the database, right? So this application layer and the database layer both mirror in our disaster recovery side. So just in case if there is something happen, then the disaster recovery side will helpful and the backup will be there for you as always, right? So it helps to provide a backup for your primary site, right? And we have the 3PL facility support, right? So 3PL, nothing but a third party logistics, right? So now the warehouse systems cloud supports the multiple facilities and companies. You can support the multiple multiple companies with your warehouse, right? So facility can be associate with one and more companies, and so within a facility you can have the multiple companies. And so 3PL, you may have the multiple retails and material in there. You can separate those out in the out, right? So we control based on the user setup, how your user set up. So based on the user setup, you can manage our facility in our WMS cloud. So we have to make sure that only the proper people will access the proper information, right? So we have some hierarchy. So this is the sample hierarchy for the 3PL facility support, right? So under your this is our you can see this is the parent company that have nothing but our business unit, right? So under your parent company, We have one more distribution center. This is a DC, is nothing but a distribution center 1 and 2, right? So within those distribution center, we have the multiple companies. This is the child company. So you can could have just that simply set up our business, right? So in this way, we don't have permission to access the other DC and the other company, right? So we have to set up this user, and we have provide some privilege and permission to this user, so that only access this company, this child company in this DC, not access this child company 2 and other DC, right? So this is a single facility, you can say. And if you see these multiple facility, so user setup on this distribution center level, right? So we have a user with access at the DC level, right? So they have access to all this distribution unit on facility. You can see it over here. They can only have the access to company 1 and the company 1 in the DC2, right? And so the based on this person setup, and we can control they have access to where they have the access, what kind of permission you have given this user. They have access this only child company 1 both in DC1 and DC2, right? At the DC level you can provide user configuration, right? So a simple multi facility for a single company, right? And we have the single facility focus. So now in this case you have only one distribution center. So in this your business unit, like we have the Tata, we have can set Tata Motors over here, and we have the Tata Steels company have here, right? So on this company side, and we create the vehicle on this motor level, and we create some tool on this steel level, right? So this is a single facility. So the user set on this distribution center level can access both this company also and this company also, right? So we define the privilege and the facility. You can the permission for this user so that he can use and you can access.
Recording stopped.
In this case, the user is at the parent company, and you can say the BU level, right? So user have access all the business privileges, all the business permission set for that particular user on this parent company level, right? So this is the holistic view level, and we have some facility level configuration, right? So now when we set up the configuration, if you configure things at the parent level, so at the DC level, at the company level, it will be a drive where those changes are. If we have make the changes at the facility, we can say the DC level, and it's going to affect both this. So whenever we perform some updation at the DC level, so based on the updation on the DC level, both company have also the changes in and child company 1 and 2, right? So this is the facility level configuration, right? So configuration part you can say. And at the company level, if you configure our user at the any updation on our company level, so in this case if any user is at company parent company level, and we can say that the view level, and if he changes and in changing in a parameter, let's say we're changing the outbound in the warehouse inbound purchase order, so that we get the material from the supplier to our inventory, you can see, right? And by its operational teams, right? For example, WMS, right? So users are assigned group which contain a set of UI and RF menus, right? So what is menu? Menu have the set of screens. We have the UI menu, RF menu. So menu have this set of screen that are accessible particular groups, right? And screen are basically two types. We have the UI screen and the RF screen, right? and the UI screen refers to the tab that is visible on the WMS, and the RF screen refers to the transactions that are proceed by the RF gun. Right, we will see both the UI screen and the RF screen, right? And at the end we have the user and menu group grant them access to the UI menu and the RF menu, and every user within the group will share the same UI and you can touch, and we record some data, and we create the SN orders loads, right, in the UI menu. In the same in the RF screen, here we transactions are performed to the RF gun. RF gun is nothing but a radio frequency gun, right? So in the RF menu, we can configure our permission. For example, user is not allowed to perform the short picks, and on the other hand, the parameter. So the screen has the specific parameter configuration based on this configuration. You have view on the RF device that its work and how to behave this RF gun, right? In the same way, we provide the permission on the UI menu, right? So this is the user. So we will see how to create in the WMS cloud user group to a particular user so that we can perform the UI menu, like creating, editing, deleting, modifying, create the record, and the same way we have provide the permission and the uh, parameters for a particular menu groups, menu and screen in our today's session, right? So let's move to the application. So this is our instant, this is our application, right? So in this instance we will create our user. So this is our implementation user provided by the Oracle Frankie Girl. So we will perform all the tasks in our upcoming session under this Frankie gun, right? So we have the search icon. So we have to search users, right? So click on this screen. So it will show you a screen, right? So we have some options on this screen like visibility, facilities, eligible companies, work areas, and the groups. And we have some more. You can click on this icon, and we create the support user and RF device connection details and user summary, right? So these are the options under this user, right? And this is the record table, active, login, username, first name, last name, groups. This is our groups, and facility code, company code. You can see this is our facility code and the company code over here, right? What is the company ID, shift, works, and you can add from clicking on this, and you can uh, active, disactive the attribute for this record table, right? Either you want to display the email on this screen, you can check it out, and many more. We have the attribute, you can search, uh, you can check over here, right? So right now we have only seen some basic attribute, right? So let's create new user. So click on this create icon, go to wait for a while. Yes, right. So we have the option. Uh, this is active and deactive. If you want to active from here, this user, you can check it. This checkbox. Either you can uncheck this box, right? And what is the login? This is the name of this login. Like we have create uh, test underscore admin, right? What is the first name of this? Like we have the test, and what is the last name? This is also a mandatory term. So this is admin. The T is our ID, and what is the alternate name? So this is not a mandatory field. The email ID is not a mandatory field. You can define like test admin 30 at the rate gmail.com, right? So this is the email ID. And what is the type, right? So we have a two type of user, and second is external, right? So internal user is a person inside, or you can see who is the part of the organization structure that helps run its operations and uses the company's financial information to make the decision, right? So this is the uses of internal user. And if you select the external user, so the external user, the user of the system who is not the part of the organization structure, they access the application over the web and have some restricted access to the system. He cannot use some information, some transactional information, right? And you can select the hire date. Suppose we have select the past date, right? And you can define the hourly wage, and we had defined some code in the company code. Right now we are not selecting. Now what is the shift? You can define the shift. Default, this is not a mandatory field, but we have to select this shift over here. And what is the roles, right? So we have different roles, like five type of roles: administrator, management, and supervisor, guard, and employee, right? So different axes, right? Suppose select take administrator. So administrator can add the company, can delete the company, can change the company, right? He can add the user, he delete the facilities, he can as compared to the rest of the users, rest of the roles restrictions we have in the administrator. And the same have the supervisor role. Supervisor role only can change the user, but not employee. Employee have the only read only access, cannot create, copy, edit, delete the user, right? So let's go with the administrator, right? So this is the roles provided in the WMS cloud. In the same way, we have the language. Let's select the language, that is English. And what is the default group? So let's select the groups. We have like one group. We'll create the groups and we'll see in that particular area, right? No issue. And this is the row per page, and change password login on login. You can set the options on the login page, right? You can change the password on the login page. Dashboard screen, and date format, time format, and we can attach the image, default document printer. So we have the lots of information you can set, you can fill as per your requirement, right? Let's save it. So simple text detector, please use the more complex password, right? So this is a secure, right? Now let's save it. So we have created one user. You can see, you can edit it by clicking on this edit icon, right? You can change the password over here, right? So cancel out. So this is how you can create the user in our application, right? So let's log. So you can see we have successfully logged in our recently created user, right? No issue. Wait for a while till the process gets the page is loaded. So we have created the user. Now let's create the support user. And later on we will see the menus, all the things, right? So the test statement is created, right? And let's log out from here, and you can see the inventory information and some more privileges and information. Give it to you, give it to this user, right? And we have the credentials. So we have copy this one, and this we copy this one also. Go to this one and put this one and put this one. Now the next one is support user. So Oracle WMS cloud. So in the few instance, we may need to transfer the files securely, and we have to view the log file in our Oracle WMS cloud. So warehouse management system support the team. Support team is assisting you with any existing issue. So to initiate this process, we will need to create a support user in WMS. So create a support user. The support team will have access to a log file and other tool required to analyze the customer database, right? So this user we have created already. So let's create a support user. So go to the users, right? And let's refresh it. This is our user. Select the record and click on this create support user, right? Now we have to submit some information like what is the username and the first name and last name. Suppose we have the test admin underscore support, sorry, support underscore user, right? Then first name is test underscore admin and support underscore user, right? And what is the either 28 or less than 28, right? Suppose you provide 10 days. So now our support user gets created, right? Now you can check. This is our support user. You can see from here support user. Right now this is inactive, right? So far active user, uh, Oracle of this support user, you can go back and delete the associate support user, right? If you do not want, if you don't want to delete this support user, it is automatically delete from the system, right? You can say the disable from the configure some uh, menus for like groups menu screen. So first we have to create the screen, later on we have to adding this. So create some screen for that. So go to the screen and search screen. So we have some predefined screen. On this screen you can see on the this window. So let's click on this create icon and we have to select a module, right? One module and a screen name, right? So we have the different modules based on the RF and UI. So if you want to create the screen for the RF, you have select this RF text, and if you want to create the screen for the UI, so go to the scroll down and you can see the UI HTML, right? So you can select as per your requirement. If you want to create a screen for the location, so select the location. If you are creating the item inventory by the LPN, you can select over here. If you want to create the screen for the user, you can select over here, right? So like ABC, uh, let's say Tata screen, and click on save, right? So we have created this Tata screen. This is our name, and this is our module, right? Now we have to generate the screen based on the clicking on this icon you have, right? So select our necessary screen for the group. So select the record, and we can either we can select this and click on this generate screen over here. We have one more option for create generating any screen, right? So what kind of screen? UI. So we have the activity. Let's suppose click on this, and we have add the activities in our screen. We have load OBLPN, outbound LPN, nothing but outbound LPN, right? And if you want to select some more, we have the pick, select it, and suppose we have the outbound audit. So based on your requirement, you can select the screen for a particular any screen, right? So no issue, click on save. So this is a basic uh, way, a basic process so creating any screen. So whenever we create a screen, we have to adding this screen to menu, right? So we have created the screen. Now we have created the menu. So this is menu. So menu configuration both are same, right? So we are on the menu, right? So we have the predefined some menus we have. So click on this create, and we have to define the name of the same menu. This is Tata and menu, right? Tata menu. And what is the screen type? We have to select the screen type over here. Menu, we have the created over here. This is our Tata menu, right? So to begin adding the screen to the menu, we have to select the icon, right? So click on this detail icon, right? And you can see you can change as per your requirement the name, but you cannot select over here the screen. So we have to insert our menu and insert our screen. Suppose we have to add one more menu into that, so click on that, menu 2, right? So this is our one more menu you can define under this menu, right? And if you define our screen, so insert screen. So in the lower level you can define the screen, so select the screen, right? Wait for a minute till the page is reload. I think there is some issue in the application. right? So again, go to the menu. You can see. So this is one. Let's insert the screen. Let's define the screen over here. This is our Tata screen, right? So this is our menu. Under this menu, we have assigned our we have adding our, right. So we have create screen, and later on we create the menu, and we assign the screen to the menu, right? Now let's assign the menu to the group, right? So go to the group. Sorry, Tata Tata group, right? Menu. So we can uh, skip two things. So click on save, right? So he can inventory history provides some permission here, right? So suppose let's define one permission like he can delete the reason code, right? This is the permission, and he can show or not. So we have the default group. He is the admin, and let's click on this drop down, and we have the Tata group. So select the Tata group and click on save. So this is how a complete process of creating the user, assigning the groups, creating the screen, creating the menu, creating the screen, group, and particular user, right? So this is our today's agenda. We have covered all these things, right? So thanks for attending this session. Thank you so much.